Thank you very much. As I had a friend that used to say, we don't ask apologies for being late, we say thank you very much that you waited. So thank you very much that you waited a little bit. We were finishing the training session and now completely available for yourselves. I would like also to make a preamble on this, on the moment, to leave a word for all the winners on the CAF Awards that yesterday were given, and congratulate obviously all of the teams and clubs and players and coaches that won trophies from our part. First match of a group stage. Obviously, every match will have a story, but we have to write the right one on this one. Home match, a good start is important, so we will work hard, and we've been working very hard since we finished the last match towards arriving tomorrow on the best conditions, on the best moment possible, and most of all understand how to play against this team that has its particularities, its way of playing, its own characteristics, and so that we understand how to exploit their less strong things, and how to avoid that they can aggress us with the things that they have as most positive, let's say.
Thank you very much, Coach. Marcelo, just on the players and spaces, preparing for the match this coming Saturday, if you could just tell us how you are feeling for the players and spaces.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now, I think the coach said everything. We know, I think everybody knows in the club, the players, the technical team, how important is this tournament. And I think starting with the 3 points, in our mind. We're preparing well this week, and we are there and ready to start in the best way with the 3 points here in South Africa.
Thank you, Marcelo. Colleagues, it's your opportunity to ask questions. There is a roaming mic by side over at the back. So if you could raise your hand and identify yourself as well as the publication that you represent. You can just pass it through here, please.
Coach, Benjamin Vilenda, Eswati Intelligence. Thanks for availing us here for this press conference. Coach, it's a simple one. We saw some of the players were out injured, they did training today. But we did see maybe the update just on who is going to be available for Saturday.
With all the respect, but you may understand that if I will tell everything here that has to do with availability, I'm basically telling our opponent how he can address to the preparation of the match and how he can individually understand what we can do. Obviously, there's always the collective side of the question that they will never control, but they can control at least the interpreters of whatever plan we want to do. So don't take me as a lack of respect, but just as a normal position from a coach that wants to arrive tomorrow or after tomorrow on the match and can surprise the opponent as much as possible. Anyway, obviously and unfortunately, there are players that are available and that are training very well. We felt really a lot of excitement throughout the week and a lot of commitment towards the proposals that we did regarding the way we think it's important to enter, not only start the match but also continue throughout the entire match until we achieve a result that might be comfortable towards the 3 points that we want to gather. We also understand that sometimes there's because of the team is or from a country or from has not such a curriculum. There's sometimes a wrong idea about not taking the respect that we should have on these kind of matches. So that was also a very, very important message that and attitude and mindset that we had throughout the week and we created throughout the week. We remember very well what happened last year on the first game of the group stage where the Mamelodi Sundowns was not able to beat Maniema home, and from there how that hunted a little bit the team throughout all the group stage. So we want to make a good start. good start is on the whistle of the referee, and the players that are available and that can start that match will be for sure very, very strong and very powerful on going and pursue the result we want to get.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach Mazola here on the floor. Sorry. My question is to both you.
So early already went down.
To both you and Marcelo, I wanted to ask, how are you going to deal with, I don't know if you would also use the same word, gamesmanship of the opposition. I'm sure you watched closely when you analyzed their game against Pirates home and away, a lot made of their antics on and off the pitch. It must be some sort of game plan for you maybe. How are you going to deal with that for your players to keep calm or whatever approach you take? And from Marcelo, the same as well, just from players. How important is it to deal with antics from the opposition or even the team itself?
Look, usually when there's a double question, I usually let the player speak first, but this time I think I'm gonna break my own rule because, and Marcelo knows it, so we try always, and I try in a big effort to make players understand that any emotion that you may leave that is not proper to play a football match should be left in the locker room. And whatever happens inside the pitch should always be managed emotionally in the right way from the players. You remember last year when we played home against Esperance that there was a clash between the players and how I was so aggressive on taking them out of that mix of players, that confusion, that noise. Because I always want the players to keep their minds and their focus on the behaviors and some emotions that are negative to allow the player to keep himself on that path, and even myself. That's why sometimes when there are things that happen that have nothing to do with the game, I stay more, let's say, not happy because it can touch my emotions because I'm also a human being. And we need to know where we are, what was the plan, what's happening in the pitch, should we correct something, how we can help at halftime, what we're going to tell, what images we can show, should we change the plan, what players can come inside and give something more. And if our mind doesn't stay focused on this, for sure we'll not make the good decisions. This is how I see the coach. So I don't relate usually those things. You know that I'm probably always the last one to enter the pitch, not always the first to go out, but I escape from emotions as much as I can, negative ones, so that I can focus myself on what is my job. And I think that's what the players have to do. I don't believe that in a group stage match, things that are not so normal will happen in the same way. That's always more highlights, more pressure, more attention. So the behaviors, and there were fines that happened. I think that that was a very special match that happened with a lot of pressure also for that team that had a possibility of right story, and that brings a lot of emotions that also were too much and were handled, as I said, not with the best behaviors. But I don't think that will be what will happen tomorrow. After tomorrow, the match will be a football match and only a football match, and that's how my players will think about it throughout the 90 and something minutes that will be played. Sorry, Marcelo.
No, it's fine. Perfect. No, I think the coach say all. Our focus always is in our games. We need to make our game, our idea, move the ball faster, taking the chance we create. I think we are here for this, for play and to get the 3 points and live here in South Africa. I think this is the most important always.
Thank you, Marcelo. There's a question by Zabang with the back.
Coach, Zabang from St Eloi Lupopo. Dennis Odango the other day looked like he went down with an injury in the Uganda match. Is it something that you guys need to worry about? Have you had a chance to have a look at him? And I also wanted to ask about your two Portuguese players. How do you think they've, I mean, you've only played 2 games in the Champions League, but how do you think they've adapted to Champions League football?
First of all, Dennis will just arrive tomorrow. So the assessment on Dennis will be made tomorrow as soon as he arrives. But we believe that the fact that he went down doesn't mean that he's out of the match. Let's wait and see. But sometimes these kind of head knocks or concussions, they have different levels. We need to assess very well which level he was involved. Of course, we are in communication with the national team, but tomorrow we want to see him, make him go through some tests and then decide. Anyway, we trust the other goalkeepers that we have. Rayard is training very well. We had a friendly match on the weekend that he played. Jody February just joined a couple of weeks before, also joined the training session, so he's already training 100%, so we have options in case Dennis cannot participate on the match. There was a second question regarding the Portuguese players. Look, what happens with Portuguese, Spanish, Mexicans is the same. It's a process, obviously, of adaptation to the reality. I always said that entering in Mamelodi Sundowns is a more easy process than in other clubs. The club is very friendly, the players are very friendly to each other, the group is a very positive one, the relations are they flourish, they are from the heart. So when a player arrives, in general, he's very well received, if also he comes with the right attitude. Obviously, then there's an adaptation on football that sometimes is a little bit different. I think that it's clear for all of us that Nuno made a very good adaptation to South Africa and to the football that is played here. I also don't feel that there are a lot of differences between the game. It can be sometimes the level in some matches, but the football itself is a universal language. We are speaking about players that played many international matches, that were national team players, so they experience different contexts. And I think that the best players, they thrive, they excel, they really get excited about the experience, the highlights on the spotlights of the best stages that they can be involved on. So I think that all the team is excited about starting this competition that is the biggest on the continent, and obviously with the right emotions to transform then that energy on movement, on actions, on behaviors, and pursue the result with until the last drop of sweat.
Thank you, Coach. There's a question here in the front.
Coach, I'm looking at the standard of the CAF awards. If I may take you back there. Sundowns was named, nominated for a big award as well as being the team of the year. You've had your goalkeeper was there as well. Where does it put Sundowns according to you, looking at where you've come and how far the team has come, actually being counted among one of the best teams in the country? And does it actually put any more pressure to you to do even better on this edition of the CAF Champions League, where we'll see you bring the trophy home? What does it take?
Look, I think that, and thank you very much, it's a nice question. I think that in the last months, after the work that the team and the club and the coaches and the players all together did on the season that finished with the World Cup, we saw a lot of recognition on everybody. So we had a few awards last year, as you remember, regarding to the PSL competition. Then we had a nomination for the goal of the tournament on the Club World Cup from Lucas Ribeiro. Then now we have also the goal of Lucas nominated for the Puskas Award. We had Rowan nominated for the goalkeeper of the year on the CAF on the continent. You had the coach of Mamelodi Sundowns, that by the way it's me, nominated between the best 20 on the world. But that are a few of the awards that these players deserve by the work they did throughout last season. I think it's totally credit. Any individual award is always the work and the reflex of the work of the players. I don't feel that myself, I'm better this year than I was before. I just had the chance to be in the context that allowed me to excel myself also and provide conditions for the players to do their job. And in a club that allowed me to be obviously in a position also to arrive then on the end in a position where I was. So what I see is that we need to continue that work. We need to continue that work. Obviously, I would like that Sundowns would have been the club of the year, and I'm pretty sure that if we had won the Champions League final, we would have been the club of the year. But anyway, I think, as I always say to you, that when I look on there and I see the name of the club between the 3 best on the year, I already feel happy, but I don't feel satisfied. We can always do better, we should look for better. Unfortunately, until the moment we didn't achieve things that we wanted, but we also know that it's from now on that the statement will be done towards the success or unsuccess of the season. What we need to understand is this competition is a very tough one that needs to be played match after match, match after match. Don't think about the next stages, think about a very tough competition. So we are in a group where any team can make points, and the focus on the next match is very important, because I think that the team that will be able to make points or take more points against St Eloi Lupopo can be a team that will give a step forward in the competition. And this team deserves from us a lot of respect, and that's how we're going to face the competition, so that in the end we can again have the name of the club and the name of few players in the CAF awards, in the best as we can show. It's very nice that when we speak about success and unsuccess, and yesterday you heard a coach speaking about success and unsuccess, and when he speaks about success, he spoke about Mamelodi Sundowns. And it's a coach that was recently playing against us. So when we see that the recognition of the work of the club is being done by the other people that also looks at us, and even in the moments that we don't win, that is absolutely fantastic, and we feel very proud, of course.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take Maskelvin.
Coach Maskelvin from Cardoso. You played against, previously you went here in the first match against Mania, and they are coming from the same place as St Eloi Lupopo. I just wanted to find out from obviously the homework that you have done, the video and all those things. Are you finding any similarities or differences between the two sides? If there are you able to share? And also, I'm asking based on the game that maybe you watched as well when they played against Pirates in the
yeah, I understand totally the question. I think it's obviously a nice way to look at the match we have had and the opponent we have had. It's a very honest team with quality. Obviously that when these teams play home in the context of their countries, due to the conditions of their stadiums and the pitches and the surfaces of their pitches and the environment that they can create and the climate that usually we play and we face, those teams, they become much stronger on their home matches. I think that what is important is that we know what this opponent can do. We know how we have to face them, not to make mistakes throughout the match and give them a game that may be more simple for them to control. But we also know that the difference from this year's match to the last year's match should be done by ourselves in the energy, the intensity, the commitment, the aggressivity that we should have from the very first moment, very first minute. And if we have so, we don't look the name of the team, but we look that there are very strong 11 players on the other side trying to make history, and we take that with respect, but we look at ourselves and we keep ourselves in the level that we have to be and even raise it. I think that we will be closer to win the match. That's what we have to do.
Thank you, Coach. Colleagues, we'll take the last 3 questions. We'll start with yourself, Mr. Patel.
Good afternoon. Questions for Marcelo. Hola.
Hola.
Over the last few weeks, the coach has been talking about the sort of up and downs that it's largely due to the fact that you guys did a proper pre-season. I just want to check from the player's perspective, where are you guys at now in terms of the standards that you guys have set aside for this mentally, physically, and all those types of things?
Te voy a responder en español y así tú me traduces.
Claro.
Para responder
Pero
una respuesta.
yo no he dicho que estamos ya perdamos. He dicho que estamos subiendo.
Sí, ahora. A ver si tú me traduces.
Claro.
Bueno, obviamente tuvimos un inicio muy difícil, quedando fuera de la Copa de la MTN, Copa que siempre en Sundowns siempre es exigente. Pero bueno, aquí estamos, superando todo esas cosas que nos han pasado desde el inicio, de no haber tenido una buena pretemporada quizás. Pero el equipo está fuerte, estamos juntos, que es lo más importante siempre, y mejorando día a día. Ahora tenemos más tiempo de entrenar toda la semana, así podemos ir mejorando, conociéndonos mucho mejor y llegar a los partidos más frescos y con mejor energía para poder lograr el resultado que queremos.
Well, basically, firstly, I commented with Marcelo because I don't think exactly that I said we were up and down. I think that maybe that on results, but I think the performance of the team has been rising. That was just try to clarify. But what Marcelo said is obviously we didn't start the season in the way we wanted. We could not get the results that we wanted. We went out of the two cups on penalty shootouts. But the team has been collecting energy out of that and moving forward. And in the moment we feel that we are stronger, we feel that we have more availability of resources, let's say. We even know that we will be stronger in the future as we can recover those resources. And the focus of the team is obviously on the mindset that we need to have to continue to be capable to win matches after matches. That's what is said, that is the most important thing.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Marcelo. There's a question from Jamulo at the back there.
Coach, in terms of how do you manage the desire of the team to win the Champions League and not turn it into an obsession? Because slowly it's a point where whatever the team does domestically or in terms of their brain, it's still seen as not enough without the Champions League. So how do you manage that desire to not be an obsession that sort of haunts the team years and
I feel that we need to have a clear focus on winning competitions. And it's not only on winning Champions League. But I know that throughout the competition, everybody will take out of the pressure of their team, saying that we are the ones that should win and they are the ones that are just participating. It started very quickly to this kind of speech. But for sure, what we will do is be loyal to ourselves. And being loyal to ourselves is obviously knowing that we have a desire, we have an intention. I don't think that the word obsession is the right one, because obsession for me is a little bit already a medical state. But a pursuit of an objective should be done with all the energy that you can put on. And that's what we obviously are going to put. A Champions League is a trophy that the club seeks for 10 years. Unfortunately, last year we were not able to give this pleasure to South Africa and to South Africa in general, but mostly to our fans and to our club. As you might imagine, myself, I'm even in a worse situation because for 2 years in a row I am there and I could not win. But that will not take us nothing from us. Will give us energy to seek for an objective, understanding that in the end, by details, because it's always by details, there will be a team that win. And in that moment, we hope that we can be in that decisive moment, and with that we can be more strong. But there's a lot to do before arriving there. A lot. We should think about winning the group stage. Winning the group stage is the objective that we have now, and then we settle and we see. We'll see. Important is that we need to win the group stage, and to win that group stage, we need to win the next match. And the next match is the most important match of our lives. That's how we're going to face this match.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take the last question and then we'll call it a day.
Good afternoon, Coach. Afternoon, Marcelo. From Soccer Beat. Marcelo, over the past couple of seasons, the team has just come short of winning the CAF Champions League. And you've been very vitally involved in those, either semi-finals and final. What would you say has been the biggest stumbling block for the team to not get over the edge and clear it? And what needs to change this season for Sundowns to finally win the Champions League?
I think we know the way how arrive to the final. I copy the things what the coach say. We need to go game by game. The most important is this weekend. And nada, ayúdame un poco ahí. Que sabemos el camino que tenemos que tomar. Ya estuvimos en finales, en una final y en 2 semifinales en los años anteriores. Son cosas de detalles que tenemos que ir mejorando. Y creo que este año va a ser así, porque estamos trabajando bien, porque tenemos un grupo que siempre está unido y que tiene una convicción y una idea para llegar al objetivo final.
Well, I think it's obviously there's an alignment on the speech between Marcelo and myself, and what Marcelo said is that obviously that we know that we made the way there. We know that it's a detailed moment or many detailed moments that we need to make fall for our sides. But the most important thing is that you only arrive there if you win a lot of matches before on the competition. And if we're gonna start thinking about that moment and we lose the focus on what we have to do on Saturday and then on the next Friday and then in January, February or March when the matches will be played from the group stage, maybe we'll never arrive there. So focus on daily basis, focus on the next match, and from there on the following one, and from there on the other one, and don't play before nothing, and don't give nothing as granted unless you fight for what you have to do so that you can arrive in the posterior stage.
Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you, Marcelo. Colleagues, thank you very much for your patience. A reminder that tomorrow's press conference will be at 2 o'clock at the stadium, which will be followed by official training. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.